of speech and freedom to live our lives without discrimination. Self-reliance and also self-discipline and self-sufficiency are very similar. They all tell us that everybody should take care of themselves and not rely on other people. And these 4 values, together with hard work, go back to the American dream. If you follow this, you will succeed in your job and life. Everything I've told you until now is the basic understanding of the American dream. But of course, the word itself, dream, tells you quite that it is what it is, a dream only.
Anyone who can work, which is like the best one-sentence summary of an efficient labor market I've ever heard. And that's the American dream, right? People come to our fair shores because here anyone who can work can work. Our national self-understanding is supported by anecdotes like this, from the Craigslist furniture mover to the impoverished child turned steel magnate or Carnegie, depending on how pretentious you are.
The American dream is made of quicksand.
The harder you fight, the further you're buried. Sinking below a prison complex that uses 4th grade reading scores to project the number of cells needed 10 years later. Someone explain the difference
between convicts in the prisons and victims of the system.
Something is missing. The commissioner is using people as commission.
See, capitalism is like a fisherman that keeps you coming back to the lake. Keep at least a quarter of the population hungry. Work to devour your check and then tax half the fish you get.
Not recognizing the pennies under our feet when we walk, like Lincoln was just a stepping stone towards freedom.
How ironic, we put his face on the only coin with colored skin.
When white America did not prosper until it was colored in.
The American dream
is my breath stretching over oceans, trying so hard to not forget my homeland.
The American dream
is me being black and poor in Virginia, confused by the term Commonwealth.
The American dream
is being born wrapped into a star-spangled banner with a red hole in it.
The American dream is teaching in a school with more barricades than books, building a wall when we're all bricklayers for the same idea.
But I've learned the price for having an ocean on your tongue, because even when you have all of your papers, the rock and hard place of a country that wants to cut you out
will always win when it shoots. This is the fruit of our founding fathers.
Valleys of ashes will pile up outside of our cities as we consume ever more stuff. We know this is unsustainable. We know that these parties can't last forever and that we won't be able to drive home in our 3-wheeled cars. But still we press on.
But he's a human being, and a terrible thing is happening to him. So attention must be paid. He must not be allowed to fall into his grave like an old dog. Attention. Attention must finally be paid to such a person. You called him crazy?
Mom, I didn't...
Wait a minute.
Trailed in the wake of those dreams, the casual destruction, the cyclical violence, the erosion of altruism make it clear that at least to Fitzgerald, wealth isn't simply good.
Driving 700 miles home without having earned a cent. Why shouldn't he talk to himself? Why not? When he has to go to Charlie every week and borrow $50 from him and pretend to me it's his pay. Now, how long can that go on? How long? And you tell me he has no character?
Strawberry season, we go president picking in November.
It's a distraction that makes it hard for the masses to remember
that the Declaration of Independence is dependent on race and gender. But we all breathe the same.
We must make dream catchers of our hands, weaving our fingers like baskets of prayer.
Our actions are the only way our dreams will live.
Whether it's palms, presidents, or pain, being content is like taking naps in your own grave. The American dream is struggling. The American struggle is dreaming. The struggling American dreams understand.
When the security is a lot more political than it is social, who you are will always clash with whom a society beckons of you.
Wishing for white picket flesh while living with Section 8 bones.
On the wasteland of the free, home of the braves, hand over your heart like a smallpox blanket. The American dream is institution. It is immigrant experience or experience immigration. People are more concerned about my students being documented than they are about them being human. From Arizona's SB 1070 to New York's Stop Erica, show us your papers. Who documented your dreams?
Because the work of our hands and how we decide to shape this world
is the deciding difference between drowning or dreaming. And when we finally reach the surface, that will be America's greatest nightmare.